Friends, welcome to my second lecture on solar physics. So in this lecture we will continue the fundamentals related with the sun. Okay, so in the last lecture, we have studied some fundamental astronomical constants in terms of sun, like solar mass, solar radius, solar luminosity, etc. And also studied some facts related with the sun, and we have gone into detail of the solar atmosphere. These three major parts we have completed in our last video lecture. But in this lecture, I will continue where I stopped into last lecture. I will go beyond the solar atmosphere. I will explain some more facts related with the solar activities like solar magnetic field and their effects on our Earth, etc. Okay. So let me start from the facula. What is a facula? Facula is a bright granular structure on the sun's surface that is slightly hotter or cooler than the surrounding photosphere. It is a bright granular structure on the sun's surface. And a sunspot always has an associated facula. So faculae may exist apart from such spots. So a sunspot is always associated with a facula. Okay, but facula can also exist apart from the sunspots. Faculae are produced by concentration of magnetic field lines. It's important fact. Please remember, faculae are produced by concentration of magnetic field lines. So this diagram will explain these bright parts. These white parts are representing the faculae. Okay. Then solar winds. What are solar winds? This solar wind is a stream of charged particles released from the upper atmosphere of the sun called the corona. Okay. When corona ejects a stream of charged particles, this is known as the solar wind. This plasma means charged fluid, a fluid containing charged particles, known as plasma. This plasma mostly consists of electrons, protons and alpha particles with kinetic energy between 0.5 and 10 keV. The composition of the solar wind plasma also includes a mixture of materials found in the solar plasma, like trace amounts of heavy ions and atomic nuclei, for example carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, neon, etc. Okay, so the solar wind varies in density, temperature and speed over time and over solar latitude and longitude. So solar wind varies in these parameters: density, temperature and speed over latitude and longitude. Its particles can escape the sun's gravity because of their high energy resulting from the high temperature of the corona. Other related phenomena with the solar wind include the aurora, northern and southern lights, the plasma tails of comets that always point away from the sun, and geomagnetic storms that can change the direction of magnetic field lines. So these are some related phenomena with the solar wind, like aurora. We know aurora borealis and aurora australis. The bright light at the northern and southern poles. The plasma tails of comets that always point away from the sun. This happens due to the strong solar winds, and also effect on geomagnetism or Earth's magnetism. Solar wind can affect our Earth's magnetism. Then solar magnetic field. We know that sun is a fluid of we all know that sun is a fluid of charged particles, basically, or in majority electrons and protons. So electric currents inside the sun generate a magnetic field that spreads throughout the solar system. Where this electric current come from? Due to the rotation of the sun, due to the rotation of the gases consisting the or forming the sun. Okay, so gases containing the electrons and protons, and its rotation gives us the currents. So electric currents inside the sun generate a magnetic field that spreads throughout the solar system. How? The field causes activity at the surface of the sun, surging and ebbing in a regular cycle. So the different solar activities are due to this solar magnetic field. I will explain in detail the other things. At the peak of the cycle, the polarity of the field flips during a time of maximum sunspot activity. This point is actually important to remember. At the peak of the cycle, the polarity of the field flips. Polarity flipping means north pole becomes south and south pole becomes north. During a time of maximum sunspot activity. At the peak of the cycle is the time of the maximum sunspot activity. Okay. This solar magnetic field has two poles like a bar magnet. The poles flip at the peak of the solar activity cycle every 11 years. The poles flip at the peak of the solar activity cycle every 11 years. So solar cycle extend for 11 years. Okay. A solar wind composed of charged particles carries the magnetic field away from the sun surface and through the solar system. So what is the role of solar wind? Solar wind takes the magnetic field away from the solar surface and up to the solar system. The sun is not a solid ball but rather like a fluid. I have already told. It exhibits differential rotation, meaning the surface moves at different speed depending on the latitude. So what happens due to this differential rotation? This results in the magnetic field lines getting wound up. Okay? And when the winding gets extreme, the magnetic field lines snap. They explode, causing solar flares at those locations on the surface. Where the magnetic field lines winding is very high, there is a kind of explosion which causes the solar flare. Okay. The sun's magnetic influence extends well past the planets and into interstellar space. This region where the solar magnetic field extends called the heliosphere, and it acts as a magnetic shield against charged particles from deep space called cosmic rays. So this heliosphere protects the celestial objects inside it due to the bad effect of cosmic rays. Cosmic rays are highly energetic charged particles coming from other parts of the space. So this is a symbolic diagram of the solar magnetic field. These are magnetic field lines coming and winding at the solar surface, and this is a kind of bar magnet, the solar magnetic field. Then sunspots. Sunspots are areas that appear dark on the surface of the sun. When we observe the photosphere, we find the dark spaces, dark spots on the photosphere, and these dark spots are known as the sunspots. They appear dark because they are cooler than other parts of the solar surface. The temperature of a sunspot is still very hot, though around 65 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, the temperature is not very low. It is up to 6500 degrees Fahrenheit. Why are sunspots relatively cool? It's because they form at areas where magnetic fields are particularly strong, where magnetic fields are very strong. Okay? And due to these strong magnetic fields, these magnetic fields are so strong that they keep some of the heat within the sun from reaching the surface. Okay, so the heat coming up to the solar surface, up to the photosphere due to convection is basically repelled by the strong magnetic fields. So where the magnetic fields are very strong, they will protect the heat coming up to the surface, and that's why they appear cool. From this picture you can find the magnetic field, solar sun spots. These black spots are basically representing the sun spots, these black spots. Okay. Then the solar flare. The magnetic field lines near sunspots often tangle, cross and reorganize. We know that magnetic field lines, magnetic field intensity is very high at the sunspots. So due to this strong magnetic field, the magnetic field lines near sunspots tangle, means winding with each other, cross and reorganize themselves. This can cause a sudden explosion of energy called a solar flare. I have already told that when the magnetic field lines tangle strongly, they can explode and it causes the solar flare. The solar flares release a lot of radiation into space. If a solar flare is very intense, the radiation it releases can interfere with our radio communications here on Earth. So which is the negative effect of the solar flare for our Earth communication system. And you can find the picture of solar flares. These bright parts are the flares coming out of the sunspot. These flare kind of structure. It's not very clear, but when you see the video related with the solar flare, you can easily understand the flares coming out of the sunspots. Then what is known as the solar activity? The sun's gases are constantly moving, constantly rotating, which tangles, stretches and twists the magnetic fields. We have already discussed. This motion creates a lot of activity on the sun surface called the solar activity, like solar magnetic field, solar flare, solar wind. These are the examples of solar activities. Sometimes the sun surface is very active, other times things are a bit quieter. The amount of solar activity changes with the stages in the solar cycle. Okay. Solar activity can have effects here on Earth, so scientists closely monitor solar activity every day. I have already explained the effects of solar activities on Earth, like solar flare can disturb our communication system, solar wind can disturb Earth's magnetic field, and there are many more negative effects. Like solar wind also causes the northern and southern auroras. Coronal mass ejection (CME). Solar flares are sometimes accompanied by a coronal mass ejection. Basically, this event happens with the solar flares. What is the meaning of coronal mass ejection? Coronal mass ejections are huge bubbles of radiation and particles from the sun, okay, like solar winds. Coronal mass ejections coming simultaneously with the solar flares are not only having the strong radiation but also having a lot of particles from the sun, a lot of charged particles from the sun. That's why mass ejection, coronal mass ejection, due to the ejection of the particles from the sun. They explode into space at very high speed when the solar magnetic field lines suddenly reorganize at the formation of the solar flare, at the beginning of the solar flare. So what is the effect of solar activity on Earth? When charged particles from a coronal mass ejection reach areas near Earth, they can trigger intense light in the sky called the auroras. So auroras are basically caused due to the coronal mass ejection. A lot of charged particles and radiation uh, reaching at the northern and southern poles of the Earth. When particularly strong, CME can also interfere in power utility grids. Okay, so CME can also interfere in power utility grids, which at their worst can cause electricity shortages and power outages. Solar flares and coronal mass ejections are the most powerful explosions in our solar system. Solar cycle. A solar cycle is the cycle that the sun's magnetic field goes through approximately every 11 years. I have already told. Every 11 years or so, the sun's magnetic field completely flips. So, the flipping of the poles occur in every 11 years. The solar cycle affects activity on the surface of the sun, such as sunspots, which are caused by the sun's magnetic fields. So, basically, solar cycle represents the change in the solar magnetic field over the course of the time. One way to track the solar cycle is by counting the number of sunspots. So it is very important tool to understand the solar cycle, just to count the number of sunspots. For example, the beginning of a solar cycle is a solar minimum when the sun has the least number of sunspots. So we can easily identify the solar minimum just counting the sunspots. Over time, solar activity and the number of sunspots increases. The middle of the solar cycle is the solar maximum. Okay, this is important. The middle of the solar cycle is the solar maximum, or when the sun has the most number of the sunspots at the middle of the solar cycle. As the cycle ends, it fades back to the solar minimum, and then a new cycle begins. Then the flipping of the poles happens and the new cycle begins. Forecasting of the solar cycle can help scientists protect our radio communications on Earth and help keep satellites and astronauts safe too. So, okay, if we understand the solar cycle and the number of sunspots due to the increasing magnetic fields or decreasing magnetic field, we can easily predict the future effects on the Earth, on the communication system and our satellite missions or space missions. So this is a diagram taken from the NASA side representing a solar cycle. We can easily identify that in the middle of the cycle we can have the maximum number of the bright spots, facula, and therefore the maximum number of sunspots also. And at the beginning and at the end of the cycle, we have the least number of bright spots and also the sunspots. Okay? This is the cycle of total 11 years. So in preparing this video lecture, I have taken the help of these important websites, and sometimes others I have already given the images with their sources. Now thank you very much for your patience and keep studying with my next video. Thank you again.